Hi, my name's Travis. This is Travis Does Kayak Fishing. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking a minute to sit here and learn about Upstate Kayak Anglers rules for 2024. They're going to follow much of the same suit as 2023 with just some minor differences sprinkled in there. So I'll go ahead, get started, and we'll begin with the participation rules that you need to know in order to get out there, fish these events without getting yourself DQ'd and not know why. DQ's just disqualified from the event. Minor infractions can do it. So let's get into it. The events are $25, $20 for your participation in the event, $5 for your big bass. So it's not a lot. Bring your cash. You need $20 for the event, $5 for big bass for the event, and if you want Angler of the Year and Big Bass of the Year, combine it to $15. Just cash, no PayPal, no Cash App. This is all done at the ramp. You sign up with Cam Young right before we launch. If you're under 18, you can totally fish these events, guy or girl. If you're under 18, you can fish these events. You just have to have a parent or guardian with you. Cam will walk you through all the details at the sign-in as well and make sure you're good to go to fish. The events are 6 hours long instead of the traditional 8, meaning you get off the water a little faster. On hot days, that's really nice. You'll get back to your family, but it's still enough time to get out there and in the heat of the day, catch some good fish. But 6 hours, we launch at Safe Light. So sometimes it'll be 6:30, sometimes it'll be 7:30, sometimes in the middle, depending on when Safe Light is falling for that. You'll keep an eye out there for the events, and everybody stays in the loop through the Facebook group. When you register and you're fishing, you may participate in the event. You may pull your kayak out of the water and stop fishing, and then get back in it, but you cannot leave the ramp and then come back. That's considered a forfeit. So just know that. Yeah, you can dock, use the bathroom, get something out of your vehicle, make an adjustment. But if you have to physically leave the ramp, you're out of the event for the day. You're a goose egg. We really value sportsmanship. Everybody that's in this club does. If you want to get close and talk to somebody, do the right thing. Flag them down, wave at them. Don't cheat. Eyes are watching. We do check fish. We'll get to how you measure those fish shortly, but we are very big on sportsmanship and any neglectful sportsmanship. But yeah, we're very big on sportsmanship, and if there's any negative sportsmanship, any kind of cause for concern, you'll just get DQ'd. So show up in a good mood, be a good guy, and treat everybody fairly. It's that easy. Don't abuse the law. So you are to be no less than 25 yards away from another angler, meaning if you see somebody on a spot, you can't come 15 foot from them and then tell them you don't own the water, bro. For the purpose of our event, they own that 25 yards around them. That is their space to fish in as long as they are there before you. All right. We normally don't have a problem with this. If you want to talk to somebody, give them a hand up, acknowledge them, and more than likely they're going to say, yeah, come on over. If they're in the hunt, they might have to tell you otherwise, but yeah, give them the hand. Don't just stroll up on them. You have to abide by all state laws, and you have to abide by the PFD law for us. Not only does it have to be on your kayak, it has to be on you. If you fish it without a vest and you show up at weigh-in, you're gonna get DQ'd because you fished all day without a vest. As far as the apps go where we submit, sometimes we will use TourneyX and Fishing Chaos, but only when other clubs require it in co-op events. Almost all the events, though, are going to be show up with cash, leave with cash. Show up with your phone, take your pictures, submit your pictures with a phone. Everything is really clean is what I'm getting at here. But your pictures, you're taking traditional KBF, hand not under the gill plate. You're not going beyond the tail area. You're keeping it down low. This picture here is a perfect example of what you want to do in comparison with the rule. Mouth closed, fully touching the board. I've got a video to help you figure out that if it's new to you. I'll just throw the link down in the description as well. When you're taking your photos, make sure you have it pulled down, location turned on, right? Pull your settings down, click on location. When the judging is happening, the photo is being examined and the metadata captured by that location on the photo, that is examined, and that's how we know, yes, this fish came from this lake. As a small club, we value sportsmanship, as I said, so your identifier, you can use any KBF identifier, but Upstate Kayak Anglers has a 10 tag available. I recommend you check it out. It's pretty inexpensive, and you just take a standard non-permanent marker, go over the top of your permanent, and it'll wipe right off. It's a great life hack for any permanent marker. A dry erase will take it off the 10 tag. Recommend you get a 10 tag. If not, any KBF identifier will do. As far as your bump boards, it can be a catch board, a yak gear, fish stick, fraybill, hog trough. We're pretty open to the bump boards. Just if you have a question, hit up Cam on Facebook, Yak Bassin, and let him know what your question is. This is a 3-fish limit club, and we're looking for 8-inch fish minimum. So that's not very big, but some of these waters are pretty tough to fish. You're going to have days you're going to blow past that, and you may very well have days where 24 inches is realistic. Take what the water gives you, right? But that's the goal. 3 fish, 24-inch limit. That'll get your limit hit and put you in a good place to get some AOI points at a higher level. So you're only permitted to have 1 rod, 1 reel in use at any time. You can only have 1 line in the water, pretty much is what this boils down to. You can troll, but you can't troll and be casting at the same time. That's not how it works. 1 at a time, guys. No intentional foul hooking, no dragging beds, no trying to get cheap fish. You want to try and get fish in the mouth and pull them in. It's hard to validate, but if you're caught foul hooking, it will be a disqualification. So if you and somebody else tie on the 3-fish limit, let's say you both end up with 45 inches, but he happens to have an 18-incher and the biggest one you have is 16, the tie is going to go to the biggest fish holder. In the event of Angler of the Year tying or big bass, there will be a fish off, meaning that the anglers involved in the tie are going to have a random lake and they're going to fish against each other for the win. Fair as it can be. As far as waiting, a lot of events you'll launch and you'll have to wait 30 minutes before you can cast. As soon as launch begins, that moment when everybody takes off, you're free to start casting. You can drop your drop shot right there at the ramp and camp out all day if you so choose. The end time check-in time, when do you got to be out of water, when is lines out, it is the exact same. Same as launch. You can start immediately on launch, lines out. As soon as lines out ends, you actually need to be at the ramp. They are one and the same. If we launch at 7 a.m., the end time of the event is going to be 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., you should be in that landing area trying to get your fish out of the water. No more lines in the water. You need to be at the ramp, not half a mile away. As far as the payout goes, this is where it gets exciting. Payout on the entry fee is 100%. There is no profit made by the club. If we have enough people show up and there's $1,000 cash on the line, that is divvied up against the winners, with the percentage being broken out, the winner getting the highest. As far as Angler of the Year points and who can win that, if there's 7 to 8 events, which, that can happen, it's your top 3 events. So if you fish 7 events and the top 3 that you score in that is your Angler of the Year score, and that's what you're competing with. If we have 9 to 10 events, then it's 4. Your top 4 scores will count for that Angler of the Year. As far as the ramp goes for these events, again, we made it the same place. This is a very community tight-knit group. Everybody in this group really knows each other, and we're very accepting of new people. So I even talk about it as if it's my club, but it's not. It is the club that got me introduced to competitive fishing. As far as the schedule goes, guys, I'm going to put it right here on the screen and just kind of run through it with you guys. May 24th, we kick off the season on Lake Murray with LMKF. April 7th, we're going over to Lake Bowen. This is a permit requiring lake, so you'll want to get the instructions down below on the permit. So Lake Bowen is a permit permitting lake. You'll want to go to the warden's office at this address that looks like this, and you want to get your permit. They have standard hours, so you can go in there at any point and get that. The Carolina Classic Falls Lake is going to feature FKA, CKF, and the CCKF on May 4th. Major joint event, a lot of really good anglers from 2 states coming together to see what we can do. May 5th, we're headed up to Lake Cooley. May 5th, we have Lake Cooley. Your last chance to enter AOI or Big Bass of the Year. Make sure you pay for that by the morning of that. June 22nd, the Catawba Chain, I always say that wrong, with SC Bass. July 13th, Lake Tugelo with MMKS. July 13th, we head up to Lake Tugelo, which is an absolutely beautiful lake. We're excited to have the MMKS join us for that one as well. Lay down after lay down, dam, power plant, clear water, and just serenity at its finest. We have Lake Yona, which is just below Lake Tugelo, and I've actually never been there. I'm pretty excited for that one. Saluda Lake on September 15th. On August 25th, we have Lake Yona, which is just below Lake Tugelo. I hope it fishes the same. I hope it looks the same. I've never been there. I'll have to get out there and check it before the event. September 15th, Saluda Lake. Ooh, this is peak fall for Saluda Lake. You can catch them down by the dam, hitting the laydowns, the small points that are out there. You can go up the river. Saluda Lake will be on fire in September. Make sure you're there if you want a big fish. October 6th, Lake Blalock. This is also a permit lake. Lake Bowen and Lake Blalock go together though, so your one permit covers you on both of those, so no additional cost if you fish Bowen and Blalock. November 10th is Veterans Day on Lyman Lake, and then in December we'll have our UKA club meeting where we have a small banquet. We meet up, we have the final shaking hands, and everybody goes our separate way for winter to try and work on winter tactics. That's the events, that's the club. Keep an eye out for jerseys. If you have any questions, make sure to hit up Cam. I know I told you the bulk of the rules you're probably looking for, but make sure you read the description. My interpretation is mine. I am not a club director, a club founder. I am simply a member who likes the club, and I know what it was like to be first fishing these events and having questions about how did I do it, how did I not get in trouble. And if you have any questions, just ask. We're here to help. Thanks. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate it. Hey, while you're here, YouTube thinks you like the video on the left. I really like the playlist on the right. If you like what you're seeing, just give me that subscribe, please. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.